Marilyn Gardner, and I just have a wonderful story about Fusion XL and my pendant. I'm the person that's always saying, I never feel anything. I take nutrition, and I am a health nut, but finally I found out that I had Parkinson's. I don't like to take medication. I don't like the medical system very much, but I tried a lot of things. Well, so I called Dr. Stone when I heard about the Fusion XL pendant. And I said, Dr. Stone, I feel so bad. I'm going on vacation with my kids and grandkids, and I'm just not going to enjoy myself. I just feel so terrible. Do you have one of those things? And see if it helps me. And he said, yes. So I went over to his house. I had to be driven by a roommate who was helping to take care of me. I mean, I wasn't driving myself or anything for a few months. And so we went, and she had to help me out of the car. I could not turn, from sitting in the seat, I could not turn my knees. It was my motor skill. It was something neurological. And I couldn't turn my knees to the side to get out of the car. And so she swiveled my knees around. I'd fall kind of from the van to the ground. And then I went into Dr. Stone's. I got the pendant, and all of a sudden I noticed I am walking. I'm standing up straight. I couldn't do that before. Sometimes I couldn't get my foot flat on the ground, the left foot, and I'd walk on my ball. So many things. I just feel so much better. Everybody's telling me I look good, you know, guys. They just see the glow that I think that I've gotten from the Fusion XL. I'm 66 years old. And so also I had a problem with my shoulder, which was unrelated to the Parkinson's, I believe. Oh, yeah, I had the tremor in my left side, the leg. Good to be standing up straight. And so then I got to the house. A few minutes later, I got out of the car by myself. The next day, I drove myself to a Fusion XL meeting, and I've been going strong ever since.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Even from using the quantum pendant. I had very bad tinnitus in my ears. I've had major ear problems since I was a child, and nothing, I was getting shots as a child, and nothing would clear my ears up. And I got the pendant, and all of a sudden I'm driving probably 2 weeks after, so I really don't know when I noticed that it was gone because I'm so used to having it. I don't have tinnitus anymore in my ears. It's absolutely unbelievable. I feel a lot of energy within my body, and one of the things I've noticed that I have a lot more energy. I can feel my meridians. I can feel the energy flowing through my body a lot more than what I was able to feel before. I used to have problems with my blood sugar dropping, so I'd become real shaky and have to eat right away. I don't have that problem anymore with wearing the pendant. I also was taking adrenal support because my adrenals were not producing a lot of the hormones that I need to give me energy. I don't have to take those pills anymore because the quantum pendant is taking care of that, so I have a lot of energy. I've noticed a change in my skin texture, and my nails are growing a lot more, my hair is growing a lot faster, and overall it's just been wonderful. I have a lot more energy, and I just absolutely love the pendant.
Introduce me to this pendant. It is the best thing he's ever done for me. To make a long story short, a lot of people say, well, I have some good friends over here at Walton, Sally. They know that I've had trouble with my hand. I'm a musician. I play tenor sax. And for the past 9 years, they've been asking me almost religiously in every engagement, how's your hand? How's your hand? It's the same. It's the same. What happened is, to make a long story short, 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and chronic, really bad asthma. And as a result of that, I had to take real big doses of prednisone. And the doctor warned me. He said that, you know, of course, taking that over for a long period, you're going to have bone weakness and some serious problems long down the road. Little did I know that it was an effect that would affect my playing on saxophone. Now, I had for the past 9 years, I've had a club hand. I could move my fingers and play the saxophone, but not very well. But I could never make a fist or close my hand until I wore the pendant. Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Dave almost fell over when he saw me do this. Anyway, it not only helped my hand, but it has a lot of good things that happened since then. For instance, I had carotid surgery, and during the operation they broke the nerve here, a facial nerve, which left me with pain. I couldn't sleep on that side. It would bother me to shave, but since I've been wearing the pendant, the pain is completely gone.
Wow.
Another thing is my circulation. I had the back of my hand periodically was black, and people would say, "God, what's wrong with your hand?" I said, "Well, it's because of my circulation." After wearing the pendant, the black is gone.
How long did you wear it?
Oh, about 3 days.
That quick?
About 3 or 4 days. That's what happened when my
Wow.
hand I was able to close my hand. But not to mention, I sleep better, and there's a lot of things that you don't really feel, like the cells. They unclump. If your cells are working better, naturally your whole body's working better. But anyway, I feel like $1,000,000, and thanks to Dave. God bless you, Dave.
What starts to happen over years is they connect to one another and they just mutilate your skin. And so I was suffering with that for 4 years. It left from being boils, which I have suffered with since I was 12 years old, to this new disease called hydrodermatitis suppurativa. So I decided to try herbs and go to an iridologist. So I started that about 4 months ago. And also I went to a colonic therapist, which is Eve Harvey. And so the herbologist told me that what was happening was, because I had been constipated for over 20 years, that my intestines and my colon had compromised and backed up into my liver and into my kidneys. So I had acute blood poisoning, and the poisoning was coming out through my skin. And so she put me on a lot of herbs, and we were trying to cleanse. And I got a lot sicker. And I had oozing and pussing. It was really, really, really bad. My right side, because that's where my liver is, had my hip, my knee, and my leg had swollen up so bad to where I couldn't walk, and the doctor was like, well, maybe you need crutches. So after about last Wednesday, Eve called me, because she's my colon therapist. She knows how much I've been suffering, and we've tried everything. We even tried things, formulas that would get rid of cancer, wasn't even budging my condition. So Eve called me last Wednesday, and I went over to her house, also with Cheryl Johnson, right, last name Johnson. And I went over to the house. My son actually had to help me out of the car. That's how much pain I was in. And Cheryl did the test on me, and I was willing to try anything. And I said, okay, fine. They said they were going out of town that Thursday. They said, try it over the weekend. When we get back Monday, we'll see how you're doing. And they showed me how to scalenize, the water. So as soon as I put it on my neck, went right to a store, got a bottle of Fiji water, put the pendant by it for about 20 minutes, drank it, 10 o'clock, that was about 10 o'clock that night. I went home, went to bed, but once I put the pendant on, I felt more pain. So I was like, okay, what is this, I felt more pain, but I wasn't really concerned about it. I went to bed about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to use the bathroom, really bad. So, to make this kind of easy, went to the bathroom. I was frightened to death as to what was coming out of me. So I called Eve on the phone. She walked me through it. Don't be scared, take your time, but we'll deal with this. And I was so nervous, I was shaking, I was crying. I did not know it was a monster, to put it lightly. So that was 3 o'clock that morning. I got up the next day. I felt so good. I felt a lot better. I said, okay, I don't want to get excited. That was Thursday. I think I called Eve that Friday. They were still out of town, and every lesion and boil that I had, and I probably had about 30 or 40 of them, maybe 50, had closed up within 2 days. So I went to my iridologist. I called her on the phone, and she couldn't believe it. I took pictures, because I'm always taking pictures. So I took pictures. I had to. And, of course, I've been married for over 11 years, and this has been something that's been very hard for my husband also. And I showed my husband, and he's like, what's going on? What did you do? And I just flipped out the pendant, and he's looking at me, and he's like, out of all the money we've spent all these years, you're telling me a pendant and water. And, you know, that's my story. And I went to the iridologist. I just left her right before I came here. She looked in my eyes, and she said the whole left side of my colon, when she looked in my left eye, had been cleansed. And I still have one side on the right side that needs to be cleansed.